Well, a year ago I did a video about my shop here, and one of the comments I had was, guy said, why don't you do a toolbox review? What's in all them drawers? What's all in all them cupboards you got? So I think I'll go ahead and do one. Here's a snap-on box that I got back in, let's see, 1973 or 74. And this is what I consider to be my metric box. I got all my 3/8 drive metric stuff in here. There's some stuff there. There's small wrenches there. Brick tools. Junk drawer. 1/4-inch drive. Snap ring pliers. There's nut drivers and torque screwdrivers. This is all Allen's. Vice grips and aviation shears and some utility knives. These are all metric wrenches up to 15 millimeter. Some more metric wrenches. And these are metric deep wells, metric impact sockets, some E-torque sockets, some wrenches. This bottom box I bought new in 1975. And there's all my chisels and punches. Here's all the files. Another junk drawer, little screwdrivers. Grinding drawer. That's all odds and ends drawer. Big stuff. 3/4 drive, impact sockets, some other things, some benders, pickle forks, and that's just some impact wrenches. Go to my other toolbox. It's a Blue Point box. I picked it up for like 500 bucks off of Craigslist, I believe, about 15 years ago. And if you go to the top, this is 3/8 drive. Most of the stuff I buy now is Snap-on. I don't fool with things like Craftsman and the oddball stuff. That's Snap-on, that's Mac. These are all Snap-on. These are mostly Mac. Some SK wrenches. Go to the wrench drawer. This is 3/8 up to 9/16. And a lot of Snap-on, a lot of Blue Point. This is 5/8 up to 3/4. And again, it's Snap-on, Blue Point, Cornwell. This is an oddball drawer, 6-point sockets, tubing wrenches, swivel box wrenches, open-end Snap-ons, some gear wrenches, and a pliers drawer. These are wrenches that are 13/16 up through 1 inch. Here's blade screwdrivers. There's Phillips screwdrivers and punches. Here's 1/2-inch drive. And here's 1/2-inch drive impacts. Snap-on breaker bar. This is 1 1/16 up through 1 5/16. I got a lot of snap-ons. These are the expensive wrenches up here. And that's the vice clamps. Mostly for auto body work. Some hacksaw blades. There's some electronic stuff. My Greenlee test meter. Another meter. If you look up here, I got some big Proto stuff. A couple snap-ons there. A big Mac. I mean, like this wrench is a Mac 1.5. I think I paid $10 for it at a swap meet because it was all rusty. There's a snap-on 1.5 inches. I think that's about a $175 wrench. And in this side box here, that's just odds and ends. Hole saws, spade bits, odds and ends, little stuff. Grease fittings, roll pins, washers, wing nuts, sheet metal screws, tubing, compression fittings, there's more drill bits, 1/2 inch shank larger bits, micrometers, this measuring tools, more measuring tools, hacksaw blades, sawzall blades, some crow's feet, some punches, air blowers, some crescent wrenches, and some more little hammers. So we go over to this set of drawers. That's some carbide tip bits, some glues and O-ring seal, and here's a bunch of torch parts, a bunch of torches I have. And you gotta have good hammers. These are all good hammers, good handles. You walk over to this area, get up in this first cabinet. A lot of pullers, pop rivet guns, welding rods, air tools, down in here, everything's nuts and bolts. Quarter inch, 5/16, 3/8, 1/2, 5/8. This is brass. 632 at 1032. This is 7/16. This is 3/4. And this is bigger than that. Under the bench I got a bunch of chains and cans. I got some chain falls. There's a 1 ton, there's a 2 ton, there's a 1 ton under there. I got sawzalls and hammer drills. Here's a bunch of chains for rigging. Hope it's welder on it. And here we got a bunch of drill bits, sleeves for my lathe, chucks, number 2 shank drill bits, number 3s, and number 4s. An extra chuck for my lathe, the beam trolley. Go up on top here. Oxyacetylene regulators. These are real small drill bits for doing work on carburetors. A lot of parts for carburetors. Spot punches, Allens. Piston ring compressor, hones. Come down to this cabinet here. This is number 9 Brown and Sharp tooling for my milling machine. Those are small end mills. These are much larger end mills. I mean, that's a $175 end mill. Here's some more Brown and Sharp tooling end mills. Taps, tap wrenches and die nuts, pipe taps, larger taps, more taps. That's just odds and ends junk. That's welding stuff. And for this lathe, I got all kind of tooling up here. And there's a whole down set. I have a 200 amp service in this garage, and 100 amps goes to the house, and 100 amps stays out here for all these machines. Here's a job I'm going to be doing. I got to make 2 of these caps out of aluminum. One has a right hand thread and one has a left hand thread. They go on an antique car. I don't know what your car. The guy told me he needs it in a week. The car is supposed to go to Pebble Beach, so they have a lot of confidence that I can make this kind of stuff. Okay, this is my big 20-inch lathe. It's a flather from around 1917. And I have all kind of tool holders in here. Boring bars. More tool holders there. There's a set of 0 to 6 micrometers, Lufkins. Here's a diamond horizontal milling machine right here. This is a great little machine. I have 3 of these, exactly the same. I got one for sale. I just rebuilt. This is all reamers. More reamers. This is horizontal milling cutters. Horizontals and gear cutters. More horizontals, and there's some grinding wheels. I have a grinder in the back over here. I don't know if you can see it, and I haven't even got it out. I got to make some room around here. There's some carbide lathe tools. A lot of hold down parts for mill. Allen keyed set screws. More stuff, more drill bits. And that's some wire wheel. There's a set of long jaws for my lathe chuck over here. I have two big lathe chucks here. One's a 3-jaw, and this next to it's a 4-jaw, and that's what those jaws go for that. Go into this one. Here's another set of micrometers here. Drill bits. More drill bits. Measuring tools. That's carbide lathe tools, inserts. This is high speed bits here. That's some files and odds and ends, grinding wheels, emery paper. Here's lathe measuring tools, micrometers, insides, outsides, depths. Boring bars. That's just brass that I use to hold pieces I don't want to mar in the chuck and the lathe. Bunch of pipe wrenches. What's in here? Let's see. Oh, this is more high speed. Bunch of reamers, small reamers, pin reamers. More reamers. Dial indicators. And C-clamps. This cabinet I have literature in. There's some words of wisdom. I got automotive parts in these drawers. I'm not even going to pull them out. That's just electrical junk there. This is metric. All metric bolts in here. This is stainless. This is hooks, clevises, chains, anything to do with chains. And this is automotive sandpaper. More sandpaper. More sandpaper and tape. Auto body tools. Buffers. That's more auto body stuff. And this is some big drills and buffers and grinders, and there's a tire shear in there. Got two compressors. One's a backup. Got my tanks. Use them all the time. I got steel everywhere. Steel there. I got all kind of steel underneath there. I got steel back in the corner there. This is all brass here. All of it. I got a lot more up in my shed. Okay, I got woodworking tools up in my shed. Tools on the wall there. Toolbox here. That's mostly aluminum. A lot of stainless. Some bigger stuff. There's some 4130 there. I got mild steel on the bottom, mild steel over there. Aluminum in this side. Stainless on this side. Got cabinets full of automotive parts. Got stainless stored back here. I don't know if you can see it very well. This 3-inch bar there, it's about 6 feet long. Stainless steel. And then flat bar there. Nuts and bolts, tons of nuts and bolts in these coffee cans, motors. Here's a Pexto sheet metal brake. .24-inch brake. I have a 20-ton press, bandsaw, miter saw, table saw. Coming down into my basement, I have another milling machine there. So that diamond that I refurbished 2 years ago. Got this little bandsaw here. Another 12-inch pedestal grinder. Got all these filled with tools that I need. Here's a 9-inch lathe. Got measuring tools in here. Chocks and collets. Tool holders. Drill bits. Parts for the mill. Next box is electrical parts. I should say next cabinet. These are all plumbing. Electrical plumbing. Drill bits. Have another drill press down here. A few more tools in this cabinet. There's a set of 0 to 6 micrometers, some gauge blocks, and then 6 to 12 micrometers, starets and Lufkins, finish nailers, staplers. And this is my automotive paint cabinet. Spray gun. I used to do a lot of painting. Yeah, you might think it's a little anal to have the stuff in a line like that, but I know how many wrenches I have. And if, say I had something like that, I say, hey, there's 2 wrenches missing. Go look for them and find them. And it's the same with the sockets up top. If I know that there's a hole, well, I got to go look for a socket. Many times I found them, especially under the hood of a car, or I was working outside on a lawnmower and say, hey, where's my wrench I had? It's not where it's supposed to be, and I can go find it outside. Battery chargers, saws, vacuum pumps, right angle drill, a lot of paint. Oh, there's another cabinet up here. That's some spray equipment. So when I buy hand tools, I pretty much stick with Snap-on, Blue Point, Proto, Cornwell, Mac, and SK. Those are the names I look for when I'm looking for tools. I go to swap meets when I want to buy some tools. Craftsman now are made overseas. They're making some Blue Points overseas, but you want to get the ones that have the same number as the Snap-on. There's a set of Bonnies there. They're okay, but they're pretty rare. Yeah, I used to work as a construction manager in a hospital, and I was fortunate enough that they're throwing out all this casework that I could grab it and bring it into the shop. It's great casework. I mean, if you had a doctor that was redoing a lab, he doesn't want the old casework that's in there. They just threw all this stuff out in a dumpster. So I was able to get a slip to take it all home. And I took a lot of it home. One of the things I did to the shop this year that I'm really happy about is I converted everything to LED lighting. There's so much more light. And I got some big beam trolleys in the shop here too. There's a 4-tonner right there. Yeah, I look at some people's shops on YouTube and their videos, and looks like they polish their machines. There's not a chip on the floor. Well, I spent a day and a half cleaning this shop up. Stuff that hasn't been cleaned in 30 years. In fact, this barrel here is filled with chips and welding slag and spent welding rods and everything that was on the floor. I didn't get them all, but I got quite a few of them. All around the drill press there was drilling chips, and under the lathe there was chips, and I pulled all these chains out. There was all kind of welding slag in there, and I really cleaned up for the first time in years. I do a lot of work in this shop. I don't have a lot of time to spend cleaning. So that's about it. I have quite a few tools. I got so much stuff I don't really know what I have. I inherited a lot from my dad. I inherited a lot from my best friend's dad.